Here we've got the SGS 2-ton engine crane EC2000, lifting range 25 to 2,300 millimeters. The bit of an overview. So 2-ton when it's fully retracted. We've got a set of 1.5 ton at the minute. As we get further towards the front, obviously more leverage, then the capacity reduces. Nice substantial hook on the end mount, sprung loaded gate. On this we've got the load leveler, 680 kilogram load leveler. That comes as an additional extra, it's not part of the thing. The legs on it, quite substantial. 6 caster wheels and 2 strut supports there, bracings. On it today we've got a Land Rover 2018 Land Rover engine, seized actually. Surprise, surprise. How they get away with producing it, I don't know, but there it is. So the game today is to evaluate why it's seized, what is seized, etc, etc. So back to the lift. If anything, these wheels are a little bit high off the floor. Grab a tape measure, excuse me, and it raises the legs to approximately 190 millimeters. Difficult to see unless I can get really down. Around about 185, I would say, more precise, which is quite high for going under a vehicle. And I've just had this delivered in a van, this engine, and with the weight of the engine in the back of the van, it was a bit of a problem to get these legs underneath. So it's had to be jacked up. The van has had to be jacked up in order to get this lift underneath. However, that said, it's done a good, how many, 3 engines for me at the minute. Well, I've not had it long. It's proved its worth, if a little bit cumbersome. A couple of things to point out are that the legs fold away, so these front pins come out, and when the load is removed, the leg can load stowaway into a semi-vertical position, and the pins relocated in these 2 brackets. Now these 2 brackets are not welded, but they have these little stops, and it allows a degree of movement, which unfortunately gets right in the way of the handle for manoeuvring, which is a bit of a finger trapper really. So you can't actually use the handles as they are. You have to come slightly inboard of that and use them about here somewhere, and you still get your little finger banged, rattled by these legs when they're in the stowed position. So a bit of a kind of oversight really, or lack of consideration. So I'm contemplating pushing these to the forwardmost position, and then maybe running some weld down the back, just to save my fingers really when moving the thing about. Because when you're moving things like this, there's a significant amount of weight, and if anything, I would say that the handle is a little bit high. it could have done with being maybe down here somewhere, just to allow I don't know, up here for me personally it's at just below nipple height, so it just feels a little bit high, a little bit awkward to manoeuvre. That said, it's doing what it says on the tin, and is working well so far. So a couple of little bits, but all in all, yeah, happy days. Another cracking SGS product. Not sponsored, by the way. It's just thought I'd run it across just to enable anybody that's thinking of purchasing from them to see, because they've got their act together really good. Okay, enjoy.